Hello, my friends. It's Tuesday. It's the 8th day of December, and so it is my 8th Christmas story that I am sharing with you. And this one is called, I'm the Real Santa Claus. Good afternoon, Jake and Ella and Cody. I'm so glad you came to join. Let's find out about the real Santa Claus. He looks like, look at that beard on him. He looks like a real Santa with a real beard. It was Christmas Eve, and Santa Claus's reindeers were harnessed to his sleigh, and the elves had loaded sackfuls of presents. Now, all that reminded for Santa to do was to put on his warmest clothes and check his list to see which children had been good. Have you been good? Then, with a merry laugh, he flew away. There he is, putting away, and there he is flying away on his sleigh. The little elves are helping him put his clothes on, or his Santa outfit on. First, Santa Claus came to a big city. Ooh, do you live in a big city or a little town? Oh, goodness, he said to himself. I think I've arrived much too early. I've never seen the city so crowded. Did Santa leave early? The streets were bustling with Christmas shoppers, so it was hard for Santa to find a place to set down his sleigh. Uh-oh. When last he did, a stern voice from behind him said, "You can't park there. Didn't you see the sign?" Uh-oh. What's Santa gonna do? He needs to get all those presents delivered. But I'm Santa Claus, he persisted. That's what they all say, said the policeman. But then he stopped writing out the parking ticket. Listen, he said. I know what it's like. I was Santa Claus myself once at the children's hospital. All the same, don't let me catch you again, or I'll have to give you a parking ticket. Uh-oh. Can you imagine Santa Claus with a parking ticket? I love the pictures in this book. Santa was confused by what the policeman had said. Surely there was only one Santa Claus, he thought as he strode down the street. And that Santa Claus is me. But everywhere he looked, he saw more and more and more people dressed just like him. One of them, coming the other way, waved at him and shouted, I see we rented our costumes from the same place. You can tell by the nose. Very lifelike, isn't it? Do you think it was a costume? Oh my goodness, there's Santa Clauses everywhere. Poor Santa Claus, he doesn't know what to do. Look at those Santas. Outside a department store stood yet another Santa Claus, a large one, shouting and ringing a bell. Hey, you, he said when he saw the real Santa Claus, go and find somewhere else to stand. This is my territory. Oh my goodness, poor Santa, he doesn't know what to do. Just then, a woman marched out of the store, pulling a little girl behind her. Santa Claus had a beautiful doll in his hand. But before he could give it to the little girl, her mother dragged her away. Never take presents from strangers, she snapped. Oh, please, cried the little girl. It is Christmas. Oh, you see the doll in the Santa's arms? The poor little girl. Here, Santa was bringing her a doll. and she's being dragged away from her with her mom. Oh, goodness sakes. Ooh, here comes another Santa. Now, Santa Claus went into the next building. He knew 2 boys lived there who hadn't been very good this year. Uh-oh. Since he couldn't deliver his presents until everyone was asleep, he decided to speak to them seriously. Suddenly, a tall, thin Santa Claus came rushing down the stairs. "Hello," he said. "Are you looking for Thomas and Martin? I've just delivered some toys to them." But those boys haven't been all good," said Santa Claus. "It's not my job to tell them that," said the young man. "The toy shop just hires me to make some deliveries." So he made the deliveries to the 2 little boys. There's Santa with his sack of toys. Santa doesn't usually come until after we're asleep, but this time he was really on the ball, and he got started just a tad bit too early. Santa went sadly back to his sleigh. It seemed as if anyone could be Santa now. All a person had to do was wear a costume. "No one needs me," he thought. "I might as well go home." Suddenly, 3 Santas came running out of a bank on the opposite side of the road. One threw a shopping bag straight at him. "Meet us in the forest at midnight," he shouted as he ran away. Oh my goodness, what is Santa going to do with that bag? As Santa Claus looked in the bag, police cars came roaring around the corner. Their sirens were wailing. The bag was stuffed full of money. Those Santas had just robbed a bank. Shaking his head, Santa Claus tossed the bag on his sleigh. Uh-oh. Those bank robbers might be getting Santa, the real Santa Claus, in trouble. 2 policemen ran up. "Stop! Don't move!" shouted one of them. "You're under arrest." "No, let him go," said the other. "I've seen him before. He's..." The policeman lowered his voice to a whisper, but Santa Claus could still hear him, what he said. "The old fellow's not quite right in his head. He thinks he's the real Santa Claus." Then he shouted to Santa, "The big red nose, that's real, huh?" "Of course," said Santa Claus indignantly. He was very proud of his nose. "See what I mean?" the policeman whispered. "He's not one of the robbers. Let's go." Look at Santa in his nose. He likes his nose. It's red and it like a cherry. Oh, look at this very nice house. Santa Claus was cold. He was tired. He was miserable. And as he stood in the snow, he saw a woman outside her house, calling her cat. "Hello, Santa Claus," she said cheerfully. "You know, I am the real Santa Claus, don't you?" he asked. "Of course," she said. "I've always wanted to meet you. Why don't you come inside and warm up?" You see the little old woman? She's outside looking for her kitty cat. The kitty cat got outside. "The grown-ups don't seem to know who I am," said Santa Claus, sadly, as the woman poured him a cup of tea. "That's because they've stopped believing in you," she said. "But the children still love you." "And do they still like presents?" said Santa Claus. "Oh, of course," said the woman. "Children love to get presents." Santa Claus looked out of the window. "It's getting very dark," he said. "I think I'd best be on my way. I mustn't let the children down." Here he is, having tea with the little old lady. Santa Claus thanked the woman for her kindness. Then, just as he was about to drive away, he remembered the bag of money. What happens to stolen money? Sorry about that. He asked. The woman looked at him in horror. I just heard about a bank robbery on the radio, she said. That wasn't you, was it? Well, Santa Claus told her how the robbers had thrown the money at him. He gave her the bag, and she promised to take it to the police. There will be a reward for that, she said. Please use it to buy a present for yourself and the cat, he said. Now, I'm going to return the money. All night long, Santa hurried from house to house. He piled up the big presents under the Christmas trees and stuffed the small ones in the stockings hung from the mantelpieces. And just as he was getting ready to go back home, he saw a little girl waving to him from a window. She was clutching the teddy bear he had left for her. I've stayed up all night to see you, she called. My brother says there is no Santa Claus, and I just knew that you were real. And that's the end of the real Santa Claus, giving all his presents to all the little children. It's all those children that believe in Santa that get the most presents, because that's what you do. You believe in the real Santa Claus and all that he does. So that's my wish for you, is to believe. Believe in those things that will bring you joy and happiness, along with Santa bringing you gifts this Christmas. And as you do things for others, then you will get that much more, because you'll have so much love in your heart. Oh, thank you, sweet Olivia and Lainey, and maybe even Claire, if Claire is watching too, and any other children watching. Thanks for joining today. Tomorrow will be another story. Thanks for joining. Mwah.